Picture this. You are standing at the edge of a massive breakthrough. You've worked relentlessly. The finish line is in sight. A promotion, a perfect relationship, a creative masterpiece ready for release. Yet at that very moment, you hit the self-destruct button. You pick a fight with your partner, you miss the crucial email deadline, or you suddenly decide the entire project is not good enough and delete it. This isn't bad luck. This is the invisible enemy of success, the silent, relentless force of self-sabotage. The hardest pill to swallow in personal development is this. The one person standing in the way of your deepest, most meaningful goals is often you. But this isn't a failure of will. It is a psychological defense mechanism, an old, powerful system built to keep you safe, even if that means keeping you small and stuck. It's the war waged by your unconscious mind against your conscious desire for change. Today, we are going deep. We are not just talking about habits. We are uncovering the 7 dangerous signs that you are unconsciously self-sabotaging your entire life, your career, your happiness, your capacity for love, without even realizing the patterns at play. Once you see the patterns, you gain the power to break them. I struggled with this for years. My particular brand of self-sabotage was sign 1, the almost success syndrome. Every time I was about to land a major consulting contract, something would happen. I'd suddenly become impossible to reach. I'd send an overly aggressive email to clarify a trivial point. Once, I even deliberately underbid a massive project, making it financially unviable just to ensure I didn't get it. In my mind, I was protecting myself from the overwhelming pressure of the next level. If I failed at $10,000, it felt okay. If I failed at $100,000, that felt like annihilation. The breakthrough moment came not during meditation, but in a quiet conversation with my mentor. He didn't criticize my actions. He simply asked, "What would your life look like if you sustained the success you crave?" The question didn't ask why I failed. It showed me what I was truly running from, the new identity required to hold that success. It was terrifying, and that fear was the fuel of my self-sabotage. Recognizing that fear was the first step toward rewriting the script. Sign 1, the almost success syndrome. This is the most painful form of self-sabotage. It's when you get to 99% completion on a major goal and then stop. The project is finished, but you never launch it. You found the perfect apartment, but you argue with the landlord about something minor and lose the lease. You meet a wonderful partner, but you create drama right before the commitment phase. The manifestation. You are praised for your effort and potential, but rarely for a completed success. You live in the potential, not the result. The root? This is the deep-seated fear of the next level. Your unconscious mind is terrified of the new responsibilities, the new visibility, and the new identity that true, sustained success demands. It's the voice that whispers, "You can survive failure, but can you survive being a massive target? Can you sustain the success without collapsing?" You stop just short, keeping yourself safe in the familiar zone of almost, because the almost comes with no pressure. Sign 2, chronic procrastination. Procrastination is often misunderstood as laziness. It is not. It is a sophisticated psychological defense mechanism. You don't put things off because you don't care. You put them off because you care too much. The manifestation. You become the world champion of preparation. You research every tool, take every course, organize your desk perfectly, and wait for the perfect alignment of stars, mood, and resources before starting. You spend 80% of your time preparing and 0% executing. The root. This is the fear of failure disguised as a commitment to excellence. The unconscious logic is brutally simple. If you never start, you can't fail. If you wait for the perfect time, you create an impossible standard that justifies your inaction. By delaying, you protect your ego from the inevitable mediocrity of a first draft. You choose the certainty of procrastination over the risk of imperfection. Sign 3. The need for external chaos. The awakened person seeks peace. The self-saboteur seeks drama. This is the pattern of unconsciously creating conflict or stress when things are going too well. The manifestation. You find yourself starting an unnecessary fight with your family right before a relaxing vacation. You suddenly discover a crisis at work during your most productive day. You feel a strange need to be fighting for something or against something, even when peace is available. The root, the comfort of crisis. For many, growing up involved constant stress, uncertainty, or emotional turmoil. The nervous system becomes conditioned to interpret chaos as normal and alive. When genuine peace arrives, the unconscious mind screams, "Danger! This is unfamiliar." It then manufactures chaos, a new drama, a new problem to restore the familiar and therefore safe baseline of stress. You are addicted to the adrenaline of the struggle. Sign 4. The I don't need anyone barrier. This manifests as a profound inability to ask for or accept help. You insist on doing everything yourself, even if it leads to burnout, slower progress, and compromised quality. The manifestation? You turn down mentorship, decline collaboration offers, and view accepting assistance as a sign of weakness or incompetence. When someone offers genuine support, you become guarded or dismissive. The root, a deeply rooted trauma response to vulnerability. The unconscious mind learned early on that relying on others led to disappointment, abandonment, or betrayal. To protect yourself from future hurt, you built an impenetrable wall of self-sufficiency. The belief is, if I need no one can hurt me. The tragic cost is isolation, exhaustion, and stunted growth, because the greatest achievements are always collaborative. Sign 5. Rejecting genuine compliments and undermining achievements. Someone sincerely praises your work, your character, or your progress, and your immediate knee-jerk reaction is to deflect, minimize, or offer a self-deprecating retort. Oh, this old thing? It was nothing. The manifestation. You can't just say thank you. You feel a compulsion to immediately invalidate the praise. You subconsciously seek confirmation of your negative self-narrative. The root. The commitment to a negative identity. You have an established self-concept, the story you tell yourself about who you are. If that story is, I am an anxious mess who doesn't quite measure up, accepting a compliment creates cognitive dissonance. It conflicts with your established identity. The unconscious mind rejects the compliment to maintain the familiar negative status quo. You are literally self-sabotaging the positive evidence of your growth. Sign 6. Always waiting for the right time. This is the perpetual postponement of the launch, the commitment, the big life decision. It's always, I'll start when I have more money, when the kids are grown, when I take this one more course, or after the holidays. It's always, I'll start when I have more money, when the kids are grown, when I take this one more course, or after the holidays. The manifestation. You live in a state of indefinite preparation. The criteria for the right time are constantly shifting and perpetually impossible to meet. The external conditions become the excuse for the internal fear. The root? A subconscious commitment to not being ready now. The future self that will launch the business or pursue the dream is a safer hypothetical construct than the present self that must face the immediate risk. This is the fear of commitment itself. Commitment to the journey, commitment to the change, commitment to the self you know you are capable of becoming. You use the complexity of the future to avoid the simplicity of the present action. Sign 7. The guilt of happiness and peace. This is perhaps the most insidious sign of all. You achieve a state of genuine calm, success, or relational peace, and instead of savoring it, a sudden, inexplicable anxiety washes over you. Your nervous system starts scanning the horizon for the next disaster. The manifestation. When everything is going well, you start to feel uneasy, almost guilty. You look for a problem or you create one just to balance the books emotionally. You cannot tolerate sustained, pure joy without injecting anxiety. The root. Conditioned fear of collapse or retribution. If your past experience taught you that periods of joy or peace were immediately followed by a disaster, a parent getting angry, a partner leaving, a financial loss, your unconscious mind creates a predictive mechanism. Happiness is followed by pain. To lessen the shock of the inevitable collapse, your mind preemptively manufactures anxiety or a problem, subconsciously seeking to restore the familiar, safe state of low-grade worry. You sabotage the peace to protect yourself from the pain you expect to follow. The immediate action challenge. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a tool. A simple, immediate action you can take today to disrupt one of these self-sabotaging patterns. This isn't theoretical work. This is where the real shift begins. If you identified with sign 5, rejecting genuine compliments, your challenge is this. The next time someone gives you sincere praise about your work, your appearance, or your character, your only required response is the word, thank you. Do not deflect it. Do not minimize it. Do not immediately pay a compliment back. Simply let the positive energy land. It will feel awkward, perhaps even terrifying. Lean into that discomfort. You are reprogramming your self-concept by simply accepting the truth of your worth. If you identified with sign 6, always waiting for the right time, your challenge is simpler. Set a timer for 15 minutes and do the very first, smallest step of the goal you've been postponing. Not the research, not the organizing, the first action. Write the first line of the book. Send an introductory email. Sign up for the class. 15 minutes is all it takes to break the spell of indefinite preparation. Do it now. Conclusion. The journey out of self-sabotage begins not with fixing, but with noticing. Self-sabotage is not a character flaw. It is a misguided survival strategy. It's the smoke detector going off when there's no fire. But the smoke detector believes its job is to warn you. You cannot fight these patterns. What you resist persists. You can only gently observe them. The key to freedom is this. When you notice a pattern, when you find yourself suddenly avoiding the phone call or picking the fight or rejecting the compliment, pause. Do not judge. Simply whisper to yourself, "Ah, there you are. I see you, old pattern. I know you are trying to keep me safe, but I am safe now, and I choose to proceed anyway." The act of seeing the pattern without judgment breaks its power. You don't have to stop the feeling, you just have to stop following the behavior. Which of these 7 signs speaks most directly to your life right now? The one you identified is the key to your next great breakthrough. The moment you decide to stop protecting your old self is the moment you give birth to the person you are truly meant to be. Thank you for facing this truth today. Let your next move be a conscious one.